What's going on, guys? Back on the playtest over here during September. And right now we're on a Goblin Shadow Knight. We're level 4. We're working on level 5. We got some hand-me-down... Oh, we missed the lightning. We got some hand-me-down gear from the Paladin. We got through, like, the newbie quest slash zone. You know, we're level 4 now, so... I don't really have a plan, but I figured we'll just come out here and kill some dark blues for a little while. And just see how it is on a Shadow Knight. The difference kind of with the Paladin. Although, with that being said, we don't have much of a spell lineup quite yet. See, it's pretty dark. Let's see what time it is. Well, it's 5 a.m., so we'll just let it be. It doesn't look too bad. It's the sun's gonna start coming up, so we'll just let it. We'll ride it out. And you can see here we have a little bit of a dot. Let's see, what do we got here? Fire beetle. So we have a. What is it? Okay. We're fizzling. So we got a little dot here. And then, what is AP? Might have to look into that. I don't know why that hotkey changed to AP. I'm not sure what AP is. So the dot doesn't do too much. Just a little tiny dot. 5 poison damage and then only 2 every tick for 30 seconds. We do have a life drain, which has a 1.5 second casting time. But it'll drain, at this point, 5 life. And that's pretty much where it caps out. We'll have to get a new one after this. So, there we go. It's getting brighter faster. The sun's coming out. Let's watch that sun come out while I figure out what is going on with my options here. I say watch the sun come out, and then I block it. There we go. So what is up with my hotkey? They're not in here. I learned this from Nick's stream. They are under keybinds. So what is AP? Is that like Alt-P? It is Alt-P. Why would it be Alt-P? Okay. Alright. Ooh, a rattlesnake. What do we have here? Rattlesnake is a white. I'm sure we could probably take him, so let's give that a go. Let's dot him. Let's pull him with a dot. Then we can life tap him. So now when we're playing the Paladin, we have like a slam, which is on a cooldown. And we have like a restorative strike, which is also shares a cooldown with slam. That deals damage but also heals a little bit. But if we use life tap here, life drain, not only do we nuke them and heal ourselves, but you could just spam it. You could just do another one immediately. You could just, and that seems pretty powerful. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty powerful. We also have some auras, like the Paladin. Paladin also has auras, but the auras that we have at this low of a level, this isn't the greatest. Oh, we have buffs on. We have Holy Fortitude and a So. Oh, well, that's great. I don't know how much that Holy Fortitude's helping, but probably a lot. So the this aura, the aura of vampirism, gives us a life leech ability on our melee attacks. So that's a pretty big deal. Again, we'll just keep pulling them with the dot so that I can work them down while we're swinging on them. Oh my god, we're clobbering. We need I mean, we did put some plate gear on us, so on a nice weapon. So we we kind of twinked out a little bit. Should find some higher level mobs to challenge us with. A little bit of lightning still. We could pull this guy. What is this? This is a yellow. Let's do that. We're blowing a ton of mana by fizzling, but I mean, there's only one way to get the spell up, right? Well, I guess there's not. There's 2. You can go to the trainer and buy it, I guess. Okay, here we go. Seems we've met our match. So I guess that was me proccing life. I guess it's not every attack. It's like a chance on hit. Does it say that? On main hand, melee, and range attacks. Well, it doesn't say. Oh, wait, granting them a chance. Yeah. So I guess that's what we saw. We saw it proc there. So let's use the life drain. We keep getting interrupted. But there we go. We'll just spam life drain a couple times. But that's what's cool about life drain. Is that with the paladin, if you're slamming, you're stuck here just auto attacking. You can only slam like every 6 seconds or so. Whereas on this one, if you need to kill someone fast, they're running into like you know, he's running into the camp and they're gonna aggro a bunch of crap. You can just spam. I'll eventually get a snare on this guy, I imagine. There we go. Took down a yellow pretty good. Let's go kill, we'll go restore our health and mana a little bit by taking it easy. Oh, this guy's being chased by a stumbling zombie. We don't want any of that. That's a red. That's his pet, probably, actually. He's probably a necromancer. Speaking of necromancer, I do have a necromancer, and that'll be the next video. In the next video... Oh, here's a yellow rattlesnake. This is going to be another tough fight here. But let's do it. I haven't had much time to play, in all honesty. This is the longest playtest that they've ever done. I didn't request a lot of days off, but I did request some. And then my work screwed it up. So I requested the weekend off, and my work gave me the wrong weekend off. And so I had the weekend leading into the playtest off instead of the weekend during the playtest. And now here we are, the last day of the playtest, so. I guess that's not his pet. He's kiting it or something. All right, we gotta focus this one down. We're getting our butt kicked. So we're gonna have to spam the old life tap a bit here. But you have the ability to do that, so that feels good compared to the paladin. Now the paladin, I guess I could spam heals. That would be the alternative, but you're not killing them while you're spamming heals, whereas when you're spamming life taps, you're also killing the mob, so you're solving 2 issues. You might have to find some easier stuff to fight. Now, I said that already once. Alright, bro. So I also have a goblin necromancer, so that's what we'll do the next. But he's a higher level, so there will be a little more of a, I guess, a display of their skills. Now, I think he's level 10. He might be level 9. Might be level 11. I don't remember. But I'm like level 10-ish. And so I'll do a video showing off the... Dude, we cannot land a hit. Like, what's up? It keeps saying I'm too far away. So what we're going to do is just spam life drain, slow him down a little bit so that we don't get that error. There we go, we leeched on that last one. Excellent. Dude, rattlesnake skins back to back. I already know that other one was a Shira something or other. So we'll have to find ourselves something a little easier. But yeah, so we'll go on the Necro. We'll probably take the Necro out to the Undead Highway on the other side of the city, over in Shaded Dunes. Right now we're in Engstrand on the north side of the city. We'll go on the west side of the city, over a zone to the Shaded Dunes, all the way underneath the that glowing green castle, and over there with the Undead Highway, and we'll probably either fear kite some undead with a necro, or maybe we'll just nuke them down. But we'll have some fun with the necro in the next one. I'm gonna try to get some time today, just play this guy a little bit, and see what it's like to be a Shadow Knight. I do want to eventually make a Shadow Knight eventually down the line when the Deep Dwarves come out. I'd like a Deep Dwarf Shadow Knight. That sounds really cool. So they won't be readily available with early access. So we're gonna have to wait for the first, well, presumably, possibly the first major patch that introduces the Deep. We'll hope to get Deep Dwarves around that time. If not that time, then hopefully shortly after. And so down the line sometime, I'll make a Deep Dwarf SK. But what I'll likely do is make a Goblin Necromancer out the gate. I wanted to make a Deep Gnome Necro, but I don't want to wait to make a Necro. I want to make a Necro straight away, just so I have options. Now the blue, I pound the blues. The blues get owned. There's large dune bat as a blue. These guys get owned. But the whites are kind of, well, it wasn't a white, it was a yellow, right? The yellows are kind of challenging, whereas these guys get owned. So we just gotta recover our health and mana a little bit, and we can go fight another white or yellow. I thought it wasn't supposed to open your inventory anymore. I thought they fixed that. Maybe I'm wrong. Where it's not supposed to open your inventory every time you loot. They're supposed to be separated. But I could be wrong. So in the last video that I made of this playtest, we did the Paladin action with Azari on his Druid, and we did a little group action, and that was, oh okay, so our so ran out. And that group that we did was way over here. You get up on the cliff right here, and then you walk along the cliff all the way over here, all the way, and then there's like this little, outpost right here. It's like an ogre mercenary outpost, and then you go. I guess this would be west. So you go west then from there, and then there's some goblins that are like outside of the dungeon. You get past those goblins, you zone into the dungeon, and that was El Akir, I think, or Telakir. And then when you get in there, that dungeon is like half goblins, half Ashira. So like the beginning portion is a goblins, and then you go deeper and it's Ashira. So in the beginning of that video, I believe we were killing the Ashira. We were deeper in at the beginning of the video, and then a little later on in the video, we came back out and we got a camp that was taken, which is an easier camp. But it had we could kill so much more at that camp. And then we were able to get more people, right? And we had a larger group at that point, I believe. But anyways, that same zone has an additional entrance. So we're on the north side of town. So if you go to the west side of town, which the west side of town would be, you go in and you go way over here. That's when you get the West Newbie Yard, and then you zone over again and you get the Shaded Dunes, and then deep in the Shaded Dunes there's like a false wall in the mountain. You can go look for it. By the time you see this, the playtest might be over. But maybe you know of it, maybe you found it. It just looks like the side of a mountain, but you can walk through it. And then inside of there's all these Ashira camps, and then you get past all the Ashira camps, and then you get into where the dungeon is. Maybe I'll show that on the Necromancer video, actually. I'll try to make it a note to show that on the Necromancer video. because the Necromancer is already going to be over in that area. That's a couple zones over from here now. And he's higher level. He should be a higher level to go over there. He's not quite as high as the Paladin, but he's a little bit of a higher level. So we're just out here getting a casual grind on, just playing the game, enjoying the game while we can. It was a week-long play test, the longest that they've done. And again, I didn't get to play a ton, but let me know down in the comments, did you guys get to play a ton? I know Azari played a ton. I saw him streaming. I saw a lot of people streaming, actually. I saw way more people streaming this time around than any time before. Also they had a new highest concurrent players on day one. I'm thinking that they probably had higher concurrent players every day in comparison. So like the day 2 is probably higher than the previous day 2s and all of that. What is this? This is a white con. Let's get him. Oh. This one shouldn't be as bad as the yellow. Remember, rattlesnakes drop that rattlesnake skin. That's 87 copper. It's pretty good. Pretty nice money. So I love killing me some rattlesnakes. Even though I have a couple characters now that are, you know, 10 or 10 plus or around 10. And money gets a little easier. Loosen up the collar a little bit by that time. I say that, but I only have one spellcaster, being the Necro. You know, I have spells for these other classes, but the higher you get, the spells for spellcasters probably cost a pretty little penny there. Since we're over here, I might as well just because I did get some people asking where the entrance to the dungeon was. We'll just kill our way that direction, and then I can just show like the entrance to the dungeon that we went to. Maybe the mobs outside aren't that high. They've got to be higher than level 4. They're probably closer to like 8 or so. But we'll go take a look. Would have been nice to have so for that, but it's okay. We'll just kill our way there, grind it. Oh, he's slow. Oh, wow. Not only did we hit him, but we procced the life leech too. That chunked him. So you just go out of the west gate of the city here. And you can just follow the road, really. And then when you get to the end of the mountainside here, you just make a left, tuck in. This over here becomes an undead camp at nighttime. But during the day, it's not. That's a bit higher. That's a bit higher level there. Maybe actually, I might be able to take the Paladin there at level. He's level 13, I think. So he's not like he's not very high, really, but he's 13. I think that might be high enough. I'm not sure. Ooh, big lightning. I did see the hell level experience bar. So when your experience bar normally looks like it does here on mine on the top left over there. But when you're in a hell level, the yellow part of the experience is like kind of like flames. It's like on fire or maybe like molten lava or something. I don't know how you want to compare it. Anyway, so you make a left off the road when you can, when the mountain curves. You have this little camp here. Another thing to notice that I may or may not have pointed out yet is they did update the fire graphics. So it looks less less like a GIF or less. There's more frames to it now, right? I didn't mind it before, but it was only a couple of frames, and now it's more in line with the water and the skybox and everything, the crazy night sky and day sky. So here you can see you got the quarry over here, which we'll get a better look at, and then you can see that it rises up right here where that camp is. So then it'll separate us from the ground down there. Now this is gonna be a little bit of a run, but we'll go ahead and just do it. I didn't really have anything planned out for this video, so we'll just explore a bit. Is that a root hanging out? That is like a random root hanging out. We'll just enjoy the view. Got a group taking down a big old giant dune scarab over there. So now you can see what we were talking about. We got a couple of outposts here and here. And then this bigger one here is the Ogre Mercenary outpost. And here you can see the quarry. We'll get a better look at that coming up here. You guys have likely seen a lot of this. I know a lot of people actually don't really go out the north gate. A lot of people just stuck on the west side of the city. Now, depending on your race or class, you get started on the north side. So if you got started over there, you may continue to stay over there. And sometimes when you get started on the west side, you may just continue to stay on the west side. Depends on how much time you've put into it. You know, I know some people have, some people are level 30, some people are 20 plus, some people are even beyond that. But you know, everybody takes the game at its own pace right now, seeing as everything will be wiped, you know, before early access. So not everyone is willing to dump a lot of time into it. And I'm kind of there in the middle. I'm trying different things out. I do want to get one character higher. Obviously I haven't done that. I'm only 13 on the Paladin. That's my highest. I got the Necro at like level 10. I would like to get one of those a little bit higher, just so that I feel a little prepared for early access. But at the same time, I don't, you know, I do like seeing new stuff, but there's gonna be plenty of new stuff, you know. Even if I got to level 20, it's like, dude, you haven't seen shit. You know what I mean? So here's the quarry down here. There is some NPCs right here. And there's like this crazy staff quest that you can do there. It was inactive during the last playtest. They nerfed it. It used to be doable at level 1. They nerfed it to level 10. But at the same time, it wasn't accessible. I tried to do it on the Paladin before I got the sword. And it seemed to be broken. Or I heard from people saying it was broken. It took me forever just to figure the dialogue out. I had to sit there and toy with the NPCs for a while to try to figure the dialogue out. But I eventually got there. So there's another tower up there. There's the quarry. A different look. You got these big ass beetles in here. Cinder Sentinel. That's a wild camp down there. There's a specific type of ore in there too. I'm not sure what it's used for. Actually, I think partially it's for that quest. But there's got to be more uses than that. I should probably make sure these guys are cool with me. Uneasy, but it's not too bad. Then we have the glass flats zone over here. So if you continue to go north, you'll run into the glass flats right here. Now I ran over there once on the Paladin just to explore a little bit. Everything was red to me. You know, this was probably a few levels ago on the Paladin. This was the last playtest. I ran over there because I needed to get some tin mines, and I didn't know where to find it at first. Now you could find tin mines in this zone, but they got to be on the far end of it, so over here. But I didn't know. I was just trying to figure stuff out, And so I was like, well, I think I need to go to the next zone over to find more tin nodes, because it was tough finding tin nodes. So, man, we've made quite the walk. This is gonna be a long walk back. But whatever, we're chilling. So I went over there. Everything was red to me, but I did find some tin nodes over there. But then I heard that there are tin nodes that are right about here, a little closer to the zone line, right about here. And so I came back here, and it was much safer to farm them over here. But it was cool to go over there and take a look. You get a good view. These zones are gigantic. That's something to say to some of those of you who haven't played that much or haven't played at all. The zones in this game are gigantic. They're huge. And Nick was saying they're looking to have something like 25 zones at early access. Which I don't know if that sounds like a lot to you or not, but that sounds like a lot to me. And one thing just to know is that the zones are huge compared to, say you're coming from EverQuest. If you're watching my channel, I guess you're probably coming from EverQuest. Some of the EverQuest zones are quite small. You have some bigger ones like the Karanas and such. But even the Karanas, this zone is like bigger than North Karana, and North Karana is gigantic for EverQuest. But the zones are quite massive. The city itself is huge. Some people are like, "Yo, make it 2 zones." Because it can get laggy during the tests when there's 500 people in the city. Of course, it's gonna get laggy. And I've heard something. I think Nick said there's something like 2,000 plus NPCs in the city, so it can get crazy. So we made a right here, just to go up. I just want to go up to the building so I can show you. Here's an ogre down here fighting some stuff. Mofugly, Mofugly over here fighting some stuff down there. So here's where the glass flats are gonna be. You kind of make your way through here, and then you can see this different shade of mountain. That's gonna be like the glass flats. Here's another ogre. Kenjasnoosnoo? Is this any of you? Anyways. So here's like the little ogre mercenary spot. Seem to be like Shadow Knights or something. But there's a bunch of them here. Not really sure what they're doing. Don't know a purpose for it. You can get up. You can go up and over here. It's kind of dead ends over there. There's a door that you can't open. But the way to the dungeon that I was in the previous video on the Paladin, it's a nice view of the city. As you run this way. And of course there's a map of the zone. There's 3 zones have like a extremely detailed map. You find them on the wiki. When some people have asked me where the entrance to this dungeon is, I've linked them the map and said, look at the north. I guess that's not the north. So the top right of the map, and you'll see the entrance to the dungeon. But we're here playing. Might as well just show y'all. It's quite the run. We did wipe in there twice when we were fighting the higher level stuff. Really dangerous. I don't think it was our fault. One of the wipes was on the last video. We're just fighting, and then out of nowhere, like 15 mobs just train us. So we don't know what the deal is on that, but that happened to us twice. And we had to run back both times, It is what it is, but luckily, Azari's a druid. And so we at least had a So here's like outside, and yeah, they're even the ones right here are red to me, so they're at least 7 plus. They're likely pretty close to 10, but that would be the dungeon right here. So the entrance to the dungeon's right there. You have some. Oh shit! I didn't realize I was that close. You have some goblins that are like guarding the way, and if you want, you can just blow past them or whatever and try to get in, and you can zone into the dungeon right there. And then again, once you zone into the dungeon, the first little area are going to be goblins. They're a lot easier. And then if you push past the goblins, usually it's a popular camp. There's a big wide open area. You can set up shop. You can literally set up camp, make a campfire right there in the middle and pull from all directions. If it gets populated, I think in the previous video, you see we had a second group off to the side. and then you have to share, which is mostly fine. And then if you push in beyond that, then you start getting into the Ashira. With the Ashira, there's a lot more casters. There's like shamans and stuff. So they not only are they higher level, but they get a little bit harder because they have the casters that you have to deal with. So yeah. So that is that side of the dungeon. And so what's cool is you got to think of the city. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to do this way. You got to think of the city like this, where this is, my hand is the city, and this is the north gate, and this is the west gate. And so if you go out the north gate, you end up where we are now in Sungreet Strand. If you go out the west gate, you end up in Shaded Dunes, which is on the other side of the Wanubi zone. And then both zones have an entrance to this dungeon. And the dungeon connects the two zones. So you can go from this zone to this zone and cut off the city and never even enter the city. I guess that might apply later on in the future. If for some reason, and I don't think it I think this city is going to be kind of a pretty neutral city. But from what I've heard from Shawn and Nick and whoever, pretty neutral city here that'll be mostly welcoming to all. Kind of like it is now. So right now, a lot of things are turned off for early access. Like, I mean, we could just jump down. Whee! It's probably not the best idea. End up dying. What level is this shit? Red? Totally not a good idea. We're on the far end of the zone, and we're only level 4, so probably shouldn't have done that, but here we are. Actually, I already took this character this far. I was messing around with goofing off with a buddy, and we came out this far. But we were hunting rattlesnakes in the previous playtest. You see, they got the rattlesnakes out here. And we were just duoing rattlesnakes. But now we're not a duo, so I probably shouldn't be hanging out here by myself. He was also a healer. Alright, so... shit, I forgot what I was talking about. You can notice here on my UI, I did change up the... whoops. Did change up the bar here, and you've probably seen this by now, but you can this is the old school one that they had. Well, it's not even. They did change it, so you got the spell book here. But this is like the old school look, and then you can change it to a more slimmed down look if you want it smaller, more off to the side. You don't get the names of the spells, but you do get the icons. Oh, they're being chased by a desert madman, or a dunes madman, excuse me. And then you could lay it down flat for a more modern look. I like this one. And then I just sit it nice and snug right in there. We got the sun coming over the castle. These rattlesnakes are a bit higher though, so we should get a little closer to town. These are all going to be yellow. Probably even maybe some reds. Whereas closer to town, yeah, see that one's red. Closer to town, we'll get the whites and the yellows. And we won't get our ass royally handed to us. We're going to pass by that NPC, so I might as well show off the NPC. You could look up the NPC on the wiki, and maybe I'll do that. We got a ghoul coming in right here. I'll pull it up on the wiki and show the staff that you can get, because it's pretty damn good. And again, I think you need to be level 10 to do it now. And it's really easy from what I've heard. I haven't done it because by the time I found out about it, they nerfed it and you had to be level 10. And then by the time I got level 10, I got the sword. And I was like, well, the sword's fine, so I don't really need to do the quest. But also, I tried to do the quest anyways. And it was like deactivated or something. But this was the previous playtest, so it could be fixed by now. Oh, man. We got a zombie out here too. I gotta watch out for ghouls, zombies. Although now, when you jump, it's like, you get like a super bunny hop now. Now, I heard there was always a little bit of a bunny hop, but definitely in this playtest, it's been amplified, and you get like a super bunny hop when you jump. It's hard to tell when nobody's around. I feel like the dwarf you could tell even better because they do like a front flip or whatever, but if you're running next to somebody and you both, like say you both don't have so, and one of you just keeps jumping, you just pace the other guy. So you can definitely see that it is, in fact, working. So we have an enchanter out here doing enchanter things. Guess we're not seeing too much of the of the Shadow Knight here. We'll kill some more stuff. I mean, there's not much to show. Don't have that too many skills. We do have a life draw or a draw strength as well. Oh, we also have slam. Oh shit, I forgot. I actually forgot we had that. And see, this is what's gonna make the Shadow Knight even that much better than the Paladin offensively. Is having the ability to slam on top of the life tap. The slam is gonna be free of mana, and then you can life tap in between slams, whereas the Paladin just doesn't have that. They have another move, like I said, but it shares a cooldown with slam. So most of this stuff is pretty cool with me. This camp isn't, they'd kill me. We got this group right here. This zombie's no good. Did I run that much? Did I freaking pass it by that much? Holy moly. Oh my god, I did. Alright, let me spare you guys. I'm just gonna run in a straight line over here. I'm gonna dodge some stuff, but let me shave a few seconds off of this. Alright, so we're coming up on the quarry here. You see there's a ramp you can get down right here. I'm just gonna jump off the edge. And you have these NPCs. They're like arguing amongst each other. You can see in the chat here, they'll argue amongst each other. But what you want to do is talk to this NPC here. And then there's some dialogue. You can go back and forth with them. My interactions window is over here, so let me stack it over here. All right, so I went ahead and pulled it up here. But let me pull it in. So on the wiki, you can see that is so bright, dark mode. So on the wiki, you can see this is the, well, oh well, light mode. This is the item here. So it's a two-handed, it's 10 damage, 37 delay. It's a bludgeoning weapon or blunt weapon. And it's got stats, it's got a lot of stats, kind of for anybody. It does have sense magic on it. I feel like that's, might be new. That's level 15. I think that's new. I don't think it had that before, so I think they have updated it. I wonder if you could still do it at level 10. Or if now you need to be level 15. But yeah, I mean, it's got good stats, and it's an easy quest to do. Let me see if there's anything that says, like, minimum level 15. Oh, well, if you are level 15 and you don't have anything, you can come here and you can go to the wiki if you want help, or you can try to figure it out yourself by hailing the NPC. If you sit here long enough and try to figure out exactly what they're talking about, it took me, like I said, it took me a while. It took me like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to try to figure out all the different prompts. But I think she has you run something, grab something and run it to the city and come back maybe once or twice. And yeah, and that's that quest. And you can get yourself a nice weapon. Now, if you're level 15, you might have something better, but you might not. I don't know. If you've just been doing nothing but soloing, then you probably don't. But if you've been in a dungeon grinding, you just might. And it's all, right? So regardless of who you are or what class you are, you can use it. And I was going to use it on the Paladin, just, you know, because it was better than what I had at the time. And it's got, you know, a variety of stats so that it's useful for anybody. But that's definitely a nice little booster if you manage to get to 15 and not have anything else. Let's go ahead and kill this snake. I'm tired of not killing stuff. Oh. Oh, procced immediately. So we do have Slam, which is even going to make things even better. So we can Slam, we can Life Drain. You just feel busier, right? You're auto-attacking and you're leeching. You can proc a leech, so you have an auto-attack proc. You have Slam every whatever it is. I actually do want to know what it is. I keep saying whatever it is, but I want to know what it is. What is it? 10 seconds. Dude, I was giving it hella credit. So as a Paladin, you're just auto-attacking, and you can only do something special every 10 seconds. At least when I was the Paladin in the group, I was pulling, I was trying to taunt shit, you know, so you have something else to do, but if not, it could be a little rough. But look at that, we manhandled. Look at that slam. Oh wait, that was a slash. I thought that was a slam. Dude, we dominated that yellow. Yeah, we have some gear. It is self-made gear. I obviously wouldn't have made it all by level 4. Though you could. I'm just saying, you could. If you just want, you can go out at level 1 and just mine a bunch of ore. And then power level blacksmithing. So, you could. But we did hand it down from the Paladin. It is now night again. It's not too dark. This is actually quite a bright night. We got the Milky Way above us. Got a couple of moons out here. Speaking of moons, it's a full moon. We're experiencing a full moon IRL. Well, not yet, but once it gets dark. So I remember what I was talking about. It was not everything is in the game. So like starting stats aren't in the game yet. Let's kill another yellow. The starting stats aren't in the game. So ogres have the same starting stats as a goblin, but it's not going to be like that. They want to get that in by early access. They wanted it in, I think Nick said they wanted it in by beta, but it's not happening. Because beta is going to start this month, by the way. September, the end of September, they're starting beta. Nick said that they want to include like another couple to few hundred people into the what's now the closed alpha. So they want to expand the closed alpha. The closed alpha, their goal with the closed alpha is like a concurrent user base of 100, like a peak concurrent user base. They don't really want to go above that. They don't want to drop below that. So they're trying to keep the closed alpha at about 100, and then we all get to jump in on the open alphas. And then with the beta, man, that guy kind of roughed us up a little bit here. Let me just hold my thought. So with the beta, they want to open it up to another few hundred. Now, he hasn't really said on how exactly that they're going to invite these people, these extra hundreds of people. But what he did say is he wants the peak concurrent users to be around like 300 plus, maybe 350 or something like that, I think. So he wants to invite maybe 200 to 250 more people. All he said was make sure you're in the Discord, maybe have your alerts on, He said join the mailing list. I think they have 1,000 people on the mailing list now. Naturally, probably a little chunk of those are already in like the closed beta or something. But you can join the mailing list on their website. I think the links are in the description of this video. So you can go to their website and find the mailing list, and they'll shoot out, possibly they'll shoot out emails saying, hey, if you're interested, come sign up, or something along those lines, something like that. Gotta watch out because the undead come out over here, I think, at night. But let's fight another yellow. We didn't do as good on that last yellow as we did on the first one, but we're gonna give it another go. Maybe we should draw his strength. Let's try it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're doing better this time. So those are ways. Outside of that, just, you know, keep paying attention. The Discord's the best way, you know. Look for announcements in the Discord channel. You can mute the Discord for the most part and maybe just leave on the announcements. Like, for me, I can't stand Discord announcements of any kind. Even my own personal, like, my real life friends that I grew up with as a wee lad, you know, and now we're all old. Even our, like, personal friends, real life, grow up Discord, I have that muted. Like, I can't be bothered to deal with any sort of notifications and shit. Just, if I need to know about it, I'll pay attention enough, or I'll check it, you know, once or twice a day or whatever. If somebody needs to get a hold of me that important, you know, they probably have my number or something, you know what I mean? So, but with that being said, I have been trying to be really active in the Monsters and Memories community, so I try to join as many of the live streams as I can. You know, I kind of like report on that. I try to bring that to you guys, or to the people who can't be there all the time. And so I have, even though I have like the general Discord muted, I do allow it to just that channel, you know, send me alerts if somebody's streaming. And it's not like they're streaming like so often that I'm getting like multiple pings a day, you know what I mean? Like, I'll usually get a few pings a week, right? Like, Shawn typically streams twice a week. Nick streams like once a month. I think he's trying to stream more, but he's a busy dude. And then the artists will stream a couple times a week. Between Goblin, ZBrushed, and Zukan. ZBrushed has been super busy on the streams lately, and Zukan, I think, has been laying off, and just, you know, it's time to put the nose down and grind, right? We're getting excited because we're getting close to, I feel like the snake egg got bigger. I feel like the thumbnail of the egg got bigger. Didn't it used to be smaller? Maybe I'm tripping. But we're getting excited because we're getting closer to the release of early access, and sure, they're excited as well. But you know, they're trying to get everything finalized as much as they can, so that they go into early access at a good spot, and they still have a 10-day playtest coming up in November. So, you know, I can't imagine being in that position. Just it'd be stressful, even though they love what they're doing and they're enjoying it and they want to be doing it. There's still some level of stress that comes with it, of course. Let's see, is this blue? No. So we're actually about to get the ding here. Let's get the ding, and then we can call it. I want to get on the Necro and make a Necro video. So, you know, like I said, it's the last day of the playtest, and I do want to get a little bit of footage on the Necro. So we'll get the ding here, and then we'll call it on the goblin for now. I actually want to get some footage of the Wood Elf town as well, because now the Wood Elf town has made a big leap between last playtest and this playtest. Even in just a sense of like all the lifts are working, they flushed out the city a little more, and they got the NPCs off the ground and up into the city. So I do kind of want to also get a little footage of that. Look at this loner out here, he's gonna get smoked. What are you doing out here, Ashira? Here, we're just gonna go in. So I do want to just do a little tour of the city and make just like a little quick video of that, just for people who didn't take the time to do that. I suggested that people go do it. I think in, I don't know what video it was, either the last one or the one right before the playtest, but I suggested that people go and do it, but I know that a lot of people won't have the time to go do it. They want to just get in and play, and that's understandable. So if anything, maybe I could bring it to them, because I do think it's come a long way in over the last few playtests. And if you like Kelathan, oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Dude, I feel like they're dropping the loots today. Oh. To be fair, I also played some EverQuest as well during this week. Even though it's Monsters and Memories week, I was on such a roll grinding platinum on EverQuest that I just couldn't. Ah, man, my work schedule got screwed up. It was Monsters and Memories week. My work schedule got screwed up, and I was just in such a good groove grinding platinum on EverQuest, and I was just like, man, I can't just cold turkey this for a week right now. I gotta get in here and there. So, with that being said, I've gotten in here and there to keep my little platinum grind going. I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to cold turkey it. Let's see if there's an Ashira we can wipe out. There's a spider. What about this bat? The bat's green. And the platinum farm on EverQuest is kind of like a time, you know, it's possible to be like time sensitive. You know, either people find out about it, or maybe people don't find out about it, but maybe this is completely unrelated to what I'm doing. I actually need one of these. But for instance, there's the Earring of Solstice, I think it is. It's like a druid quest, and then with some trade skills involved, you can get an earring that has, what does it have? It has Flowing Thought on it, I believe. And so, you know, the first few days of Luckland being out, this earring kit to do the quest, people are like basically giving you everything you need so you can turn in the quest. It's like 30K or something like this. Fast forward a few weeks, a month now or some shit, it's down to like 10K or even cheaper now. You know what I mean? So the people who were making money on that, they needed to pump like ASAP, right? And then it's come down. And it's going to continue to come down. And that's why I haven't bought it yet. It's because I don't want to, you know, pay any of those prices for it. I'm going to wait till it's about 5K or, you know, I don't know. There is a minimum, because of, you know, it does cost them money as well to do it. It costs money and time. So there is like going to be a minimum. But somewhere between 5 and 10K. So, you know, I'm just going to wait for it to drop. I'm not in a hurry. But that's what I mean. In, you know, when it comes to making money, sometimes it's time sensitive. I mean, we all understand that. Anyway, enough about EverQuest. Let's finish off this level here on a couple of these Ashira dudes. What is this guy? He's a yellow. I'm actually going to walk him away a little bit. Because these dudes love to run to their friends, man. Oh, hello. I think he was mining or something. Alright, well, I'm not trying to pull multiple, that's for absolutely sure. Especially not that shaman that's right in the middle there. So we're just going to pull these singles here. So anyways, kind of my point here. I've been playing the Paladin a lot. I've played this Shadow Knight only a little bit. Don't have my full kit or anything by any means, whereas the Paladin's kind of by level, he's 13 now. He's kind of got his whole kit. In Monsters and Memories, the classes get their full kit way earlier than most games. And they may be doing some adjusting to that. Nick kind of mentioned that they may be doing some adjusting to that. They may spread it out a little bit, and then furthermore, they may add, you know, instead of your skill just gains power every couple levels or whatever, they may make ranks, kind of like in World of Warcraft, where you have rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, and you get them over time. Because I guess some people are saying, you know, you get all of your stuff by, say, level 15 or so, and then you go a long gap without really having anything to look forward to. Now, your skills are slowly getting stronger as you level, like maybe my life tap. As you can see here, there's a level range. You drain 1 at level 1 to 30 at level 60. So, oh shit. That guy's training. I don't want to be in the path when he zones. Which was right now. He just zoned. And then it stops, and if you're standing there, good night. So instead of being something like this, maybe you can have some skills that are like this, where they just level with you. But then some might just have, you know, where you need to go and you get a new rank, so you feel like a power increase. You know, it's instead of being so gradual. You need a target. I'm not targeted. Instead of being so gradual, you can have certain areas where you get this power increase, this power jump, where you feel like, oh, dang, yeah, I got really powerful just now. Something along those lines. A carrot on a stick, if you would. A little bit. I know with the Shadow Knight, some of the things I would have to look forward to are weak pets. We do get a pet like a necromancer, but it'll be much weaker. Kind of just hangs out with you. Could buy you time if you need to run. Hopefully you can get your pet to taunt the mob and you just book, or you know, it'll kind of be like take the place of like a very minor dot that's just sitting there chipping away, helping you out. We gotta find something. We're almost there. We're kind of in an area that's all the low stuff. Here's a snake right there. Oh, and it's white too? Perfect. There's another snake. All right, we're good to go. So back to the stats. I feel like I keep getting away from that. The races will have different starting stats. Races will have like racial abilities, innate abilities, kind of like in EverQuest or in World of Warcraft. Like in EverQuest, an ogre can't be stunned from the front. Oh, we just dinged. We got it. Level 5. Or like in World of Warcraft, humans get reputation faster, have skill, increased skill in swords and maces, so on and so forth. So they'll get some racial abilities that are like passive, or maybe not necessarily passive. I don't know. And then the stats will be different. So obviously ogres are going to have high strength, whereas not all races will have that. And then factions are going to come in as well. That will impact everything. So, you know, some cities aren't going to be cool with you. Some cities might. You know, if you're an ogre, there's definitely going to be like a high elf city that's like they don't want your stinky ass in their town. For sure, probably dwarves. We know ogres and dwarves. I mean, shit, there's dwarves with the last name Ogrebane, right? They aren't putting up with your shit, so you can't go there. Speaking of Dwarf Town, kind of looks like one right there. Stuff like that. But it has been said that Night Harbor is going to be kind of like the, you know, one of those cities that's very loose with who they allow in there. It's kind of like Star Wars-esque, where, you know, you might have some villainy walking around the city and all of that, and everybody's kind of just side-eyeing each other. But most everything will be tolerated in the city, at least enough to not get attacked on the spot. So these are all things that they need to implement. That goes with deities as well. Obviously, the deity system isn't fully fleshed either, and they need to work on that. And that's going to apply to factions, you know, as well. So, what's hitting us? Jackal pup. We're gonna curious jackal. Here, let's use the jump. Are we gonna get ahead of him? You can kind of see a little bit of a boost right there. Train him to the guards. Get the guards to kill him. See, look at that gap we've got on him now. Just keep jumping. But you do run out of stamina. Eventually you can't jump anymore. Come on, Aban. Oh, that guy wanted the kill. Where are the guards? Guards! Oh, he's gonna steal your kill, bruh. Hey, kill him. He's sleeping on the job! Anyways, that's gonna do it. Shadow Knights are more fun than Paladins, even though I've mostly played the Paladin. Paladin does have, obviously, some cool stuff that the Shadow Knights don't have. As a Paladin, you can blind. The Paladin has a lot of tools versus Undead. You know, Shadow Knights might as well. I just haven't gotten there yet. But Paladins have Placate, so that you can single pull mobs and stuff like that. That's really cool. Eventually, Shadow Knights will likely get like Feigned Death and stuff like that, so they'll have their own tools. Different, I would just say, and this isn't just coming from me, I heard this feedback from other people, the Paladins just aren't busy enough. The Paladins are a little too auto-attack chill. You do have moves to use, you just don't necessarily need to use them all the time. Whereas the Shadow Knight feels just like it's busier. I guess that's just what I'll say. It just feels a little busier. Not necessarily better or worse, either of them. The Shadow Knight just feels a little busier if that's what you're looking for. Paladin is a little can be a little boring at times. But if you're tanking and you're pulling and stuff, you're staying busy, so it is what it is. That being said, I will see you in the next video.